This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, February 9th, 2022. Let's go.
This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is my stock, Bitcoin, gold, and silver daily market recaps. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you.
This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for February 9th, 2022. Let's get into it. Let's start again on the Discord room. We're always here chatting. A lot of stuff going on, posting. You got beginner chat, you got educational videos. There's a ton here. If you're looking for help in trading, want to chat with people, run your eyes and ears through some other opportunities, thought processes, what's going on. I like to double check my work. I do this to actually get myself mentally prepared for what's coming and also be able to provide help with others. So it's really simple. I don't know what else I should be doing other than, hey, give me some feedback. If you don't like certain things about the videos or the format, hey, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to try new things, because at this point, again, it's all for helping others. You know, trading is what it is. It's not rocket science. It seems really hard, but it's not. People make it harder. The space between your ears is the hardest part of trading. Trust me. It's not the charts or the market or the action. That stuff can be a little confusing at times too, but patience, discipline, plans, lack of FOMO, all that stuff is mental. Bitcoin, hello, we talked about it, break of the down trend, and we did. The volume wasn't great, but you said, hey, you got to respect the action, because this could have been a bottom. Look at the volume, look at the price action. It's really that simple. Where we said next place would be 50,000, that's where I'd look. So just keep that in mind. At this point, it's bullish, but do be aware that, you know, you went from 33 up to 39, 6,000, 37, 43, 44. It might be due to chop and take a break. That's all I really got to say. Nothing bad on it, but just be aware that the action in itself has moved pretty quickly. It could be due to pull back. TLT. We talk about this every day, and the TLT is really important, y'all. Try to say it over and over again. We're making lower lows. We've definitely confirmed that. But now we're getting into CPI. What did we say the last 2 days? Probably indecision. The bond market is waiting clearly for what the CPI is. Don't be surprised if the numbers are totally not legit, because that's just what governments do. And so watch the levels. You know, we said this 138 area is important. Don't be surprised if there is a breakdown down to the 136s. Know your levels, know what's going on. I don't think tech is going to like higher rates. That's the bottom line. Just be aware of that. This seems to be a commodity-led bull market at this point. Leadership is changing. If you have not recognized that, then go look at the charts of all of the old leaders, and 95% of them look like dog poo-poo. And we'll get into some of that later if you're not familiar. Dollar, what have we said? 100-day. Trend line, 20-day. Until then, just let it play out. Breaks below, see you later. Breaks above it, should go higher. It's not rocket science. The VIX, this is one we talked about. And again, I mean, I just hate to say on a broken record. When we got up to the purely crash underway levels, over 31 to 39, bam, we're back down here. And we drew the circle. I mean, we closed right below it. Yeah, I mean, I was not surprised that we came back to where all of the problems started. That's what the markets do. Could it get back to 19 level? Abso-freaking-lutely. If you don't understand how volatility moves in and out, the reversion to the mean, just when the pendulum swings one way, it swings the other next. I mean, it's just, that's the nature of it. And so this is where, let's get into the SPY and the Qs, because this is the nuts and bolts of things where I've been trying to warn people, like, just be late shorting. Being early could hurt. Today's action was an absolute break of the downtrend, 20-day with a gap. Ouch, 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 ouch. If you're trying to get I mean, I like shorting the 20-day, but you know what? When it closed at the high, you know what this guy does? Because if it was really actually going to matter and fail, I needed to see it do what it's done. It just had long wicks and closed nearer the lows. I mean, if you don't understand charting, that's fine, but you have to learn the price action from the charting at some point, because then it can keep you from, you know, sticking your foot up your own ass. Because again, this is not bearish action. When the market closes at the 20-day at the high with the green candle, even if the volume isn't great, that's not a bearish signal. So I don't know, we're at the 100-day. I've said this, now the SPY looks like it's due for the 460 level. If that happens, the VIX gets down to 19. Do not be surprised. Let's get into the Q, because here's another foot up your ass moment. Because again, as much as I hate tech, I don't want to be the first one to short it. I do see lower highs ultimately, but guess what? I want to see some real action on like a lower high. Like we can't even get anywhere close to it, because that'll confirm that buying the dip has failed. At this point, evidence, there needs to be more evidence. We talked about needing to close above this area. We did it all. We broke the trend line. Again, if you saw yesterday's candle action, you're not going, oh, I need a short overnight. No, you're going, ah, oh, damn it, we closed at the highs. I'll come back. Well, guess what? You saved yourself a ton of frustration, headache, probably sleeping, because when you saw the futures in Japan up 2%, China up, you woke up this morning and said, gosh darn it, this sucks. If you're a bear, and bears, that's what you get. That's why being early is just painful at times. You know, the first mouse sometimes gets the trap while the second mouse gets the cheese. At this point, 50% fib, 0.618, they're all in play. If you don't know these levels and you don't know why the fibs matter, stop by the Discord room, watch the video again, watch the educational videos. This stuff is just, you gotta know it. If not, you are just, it's like going fishing with no bait. You're never gonna catch anything. You're just ultimately gonna catch zeros and you're gonna struggle. Gold, you know what we said 2 days ago, said this gap needed to close over the 20-day. You know, remember talking about closing over the 20-day, you know, for the SPY. Like, that was a bullish candle. Look what happened. Continued higher. We didn't wick out. And now we're back at some old trend lines. I'm not surprised in front of the CPI. Gold is running. Look at the monthly. If you haven't not looked at the monthly, and you don't ever look at monthlies, wake up, folks. This stuff is so important. You got to know all the time frames. And by all time frames, let me explain. Monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 10 minute. Those are the only ones you need to pay attention to. I mean, you can get into technically getting into shorter time frames. I don't do it. Way too damn noisy. Or in between time frames, like the 2 hour, 1 hour, you know, 3 hour, 1.5 hour, whatever. You're trying to see the whole picture by looking at all the time frames that matter. Long term, short term, intermediate term. That's really it. What is gold doing here? Cup and handle, breaking the downtrend. At some point, this is going to be bullish. Hope you're not shorting gold, because I see a lot of Twitter geniuses are like, QE's over, gold's going lower. It's like, hey, numbnuts. Gold went up from 2003 to 2008. Rates were going up. QE was going down. I'm not sure what planet you're on, but that's what happened. I mean, again, everything that everyone knows about the market is usually incorrect. It's just like life. What everyone does is usually wrong. The people who are truly successful are doing things on different levels. They work harder. They do things differently. Same thing in trading. If you're doing what everyone else is doing, pretty sure you're losing, because this is a casino, and a casino does what? It takes the players' money. Silver, been screaming. No, not really. Actually, just look at this level, man. Watch the 20 area. This is the monthly. Big up, consolidation, old 20. I mean, these trades are so simple, but people can't hold. I mean, they just have, every few weeks, someone like, oh, what do you think now? I'm like, I think you should buy it to 20. I mean, I put this stuff out here. The videos have not changed. The narrative has not changed. I still like it. Do I like sometimes the intraday daily price action? No, kind of sucks. I'll be honest. But I do see higher lows here. Let's see if we get a higher high. I mean, if this plays out, I don't know why you wouldn't be back at the 23, 24 area. Pronto. So, GDX. Yeah, we talked about these buy zones. I mean, I feel like a broken record, and I should shorten the videos, but I just want people to realize, like, sometimes bottoms don't happen on the first try. That's just how the market is. Again, look at the monthly. You're riding the lower trend bound. It takes as long as it's going to take. And that's where if you put time and you over leverage, why do you think I always talk about layering in, layering out, being aware of your situations? That's trading. If you always all in, good luck. Just don't watch it all the time, because again, if you're buying it down here, your stop is your entry, and you're just, you can go camping, go for a 2-week snowboarding trip. I don't care. Just don't watch it every day. Once we broke the trend line, you're over the 100-day now. Again, today's action. People are like, why is gold up with the miners down? Why is water wet? Why is the sky blue? I could do the lyric from the rap song, but I'm not going to do it. Some days it just doesn't make sense, and that's the markets. GDXJ, broken record. Let's rewind exactly what I said. If you're not buying at the lows, take a break. Go on a snowboarding trip. Go on a sabbatical. Why is water wet? Why is the sky blue? Whatever. Yeah, buy at the lows. I would love to, everyone loves the idea of this V bottom, V top. Look at the top here. It took months to top out, months to bottom. This was the V bottom. Well, guess what? That was COVID. Every bottom is not like that. So GDXJ, I like it. I mean, you're buying at discount prices. If you think gold is going higher, you need to own the miners. Buy them at the correct levels. Have stops. Have a plan. Stop by the Discord room if you're not sure. I mean, it's just that simple. Raise your stops if you're wrong. Tomorrow morning will be interesting. We'll do some more updates. Get into it. AG. Oh, man. Again, buying at the lows. This one's been a little bit more frustrating, but you've had this action again. It's like people are like, oh, you don't know what's going on every day. No, I don't. I don't try to. That's like trying to predict the weather. It's some days it doesn't matter. Some days it does. I will say this. I like this higher low off the lows. If you go check out the monthly, keep in mind this thing ripped up to 24, pulled back to 9 or 10. If you like it, if you like deep discounts, this should be a price action for you. I mean, I think AG's got plenty of silver. I'm not worried about them. KL is gone. They're officially merged with AEM. I guess we could get into the AEM chart. Let's just switch it out. No, it's right there. It's like, it's got to be on here. Channel, holding channel low. Let's get up to channel high. This one has been, again, some miners. Not easy, but look at the bottom. Dogecoin. Yeah, you're it, you know? So look what happened. It popped up today, backed off. I mean, CPI. I mean, there's so much uncertainty. Again, write this on your forehead so you can see yourself in the mirror and you don't forget it. When the market is uncertain, things can move into places in directions that don't make sense. When the market is unsure of what's happening next, it typically gets a little choppy, sloppy. Because what happens, it shakes out, and the people who know aren't gonna. They're buying, they're selling, but ultimately it becomes about why would you commit capital to uncertainty? I mean, it's just. I don't. You can say this 1,000 times, and people are like, "Well, you do that." I'm like, no, whatever. Pass back over this area. Now again, Doji. If it pulls back to 21s, call me, buy it. Stop by the Discord room. Go great. Letter X. This is another one. Fresh breath of fresh air. We said 20-month moving average. Don't be surprised. I mean, it goes from 4 to 30. You think it needs to consolidate? No, it's always going to go stay higher. No, you're an idiot. You have not been trading long enough. You watch one stock, Tesla, and you think every stock is Tesla. That's not the market. The market is shake, bake, traps, confusion, setups that just don't always make sense. Well, guess what? You know, we stopped out, rebought. I said it yesterday in the video. Watch. I mean, I guess I might as well draw the circle so it's there when we come back tomorrow, and it probably hits there. Does it close over it? We shall see. Watch the 200-day and the downtrend. Again, if you've been buying at the 18 level and you're at 26 and you want to take a little off, sell some covered calls, get defensive, wait for a dip, I don't blame you. Again, all in all the time. You're just gambling, hoping you're always going to be right. VALE, I mean, we talk about strength. Overlay the Qs, tech to this stock, and they literally look, one goes and one goes opposite directions. VALE, 200-day, channel high. If it pulls back tomorrow, don't act like you haven't heard. But guess what? If it breaks out over the 200-day, pack your bags, go on vacation, let this mofo run. Because that should be strong. It should be strong action. I mean, it's just confirming. AMD. All right. As someone who is tech bearish, what did we say? It's red upper trend bound. Fail. Head and shoulders bottom. Fail. We said, hey, look at the 200-day. Went way below it. I mean, technically, I guess 109 to 10% below it, yeah. But then look what happened. We rallied back. Congratulations. I mean, AMD's a strong company. It's just, we'll see what happens here. You broke the downtrend. If you're a bear, you got to go. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, reshort it later or, I mean, go long. I mean, you have to be mentally flexible. You can't be bearish and bullish all the time. So AMD looks okay. We'll see what happens tomorrow with CPI. This is interesting with Apple. I noticed it today. It just had no legs. I mean, it gapped up with the market, but it just stayed flat. I mean, if you watch previous videos, you've heard me say maybe too many times that I think ultimately the monthly bound on the stock is potentially in play at 190s 200 depending on when it gets there. Well, today's indecision does not verify higher highs or lower lows to come. Said need more information, check back tomorrow. It's really that simple. But you know what, you make it as hard as you want or not. Again, I try to make it simple because then I don't get confused when I need to do things. Here's an example. 20-day on MicroStrategy. What do we say a bazillion times? If Bitcoin breaks this little wedge, you know, it stops making lower lows, guess what? This thing should go higher. I mean, we said what? Probably the 500 level. Not a bad Not a bad risk reward when you bought it at 380. Still feels like it go higher. I mean, you close at the highs of the day. Don't expect, again, if you see a close near the high or at the low, expect continuation the following morning. Now, again, is that 100% guaranteed? No, there's no freaking guarantees in trading. Y'all know that. But the probabilities are in your favor. You will go higher the next day, go lower the next day if it closes at the lows. It's just that simple. I mean, I don't know who teaches people how to trade. I guess they watch CNBC and they see 17 guys tell you one thing and then one guy's telling the other, and then you ultimately go, I don't know how to trade at all. Roblox, we talked about this. We saw the doji, said wait for some weakness. I mean, you literally held 60. I think that is the IPO price. Could be, yep, IPO price. I'm gonna zoom in, zoom out. W pattern, it's a little sloppy W, but guess what? You're at some areas. Again, if you bought this at the lows, golf clap, well done. I mean, it's now here's your biggest test, is the 20-day old trend line. The volume really isn't great, but guess what? Keep in mind, there's a lot of people who are dead traders. I mean, dead people who've given up on Roblox. They just, they would rather swallow sleeping pills and die than buy the stock. They've just given up because they probably kept buying. Blah, puke dead at the bottom. That's what happens to people who overtrade and don't have stops. I mean, they just get totally burned. Ultimately, they get completely crushed. That's why go look for yourself. 95% of traders fail, and fail means go broke. Yep, Rivian, we talked about buying with a stop, got up to 20-day. Now it's just been making lower lows, but guess what? Is this a higher low? Hello moto. I mean, that's always, again, I'm moving the trend lines. Am I moving the goalposts? I guess I'm not trading it, but what do you think I'm going to say? It starts with the red, starts with 20, ends with average. Watch the 20-day moving average. Get over it, should go higher. But just keep in mind, Rivian, you can have an opinion on it. And this is what always drives me crazy. People are like, oh, well, I think this. And I'm like, have no opinion. As I tell my dad sometimes with stocks, and he says the same to me. Have no opinion. Let the action confirm it. I don't care if you think Rivian's overpriced, undervalued, overpriced. Piece of shit. Let the action speak, trade with it, and go with the action. Don't fight it. I hate when people fight the action with their emotions and then they get blown out or do the wrong thing. Tesla, we talked about it could go into a long consolidation period. It's, we said the 200-day again. If you're a subscriber, you're like, oh crap, I did see that at Tesla. Next, we broke the downtrend. Not great volume. Price action is not great. I would watch the 20-day. Again, to me, the 50-day, this is the real dog bullish, because then you could maybe get back up into the highs. But until then, let's just highlight it, because I think people need to see, this is going to be a pain in the ass to break, because you got old support, you got the 50-day and old trend line. That in itself combined, it's a lot of, think of it as a battle, and you got a general and 100,000 soldiers there versus, a commander and 20 cavalry. It's going to be a battle to get over that, and all these people were wrong. Do you think if they get back into this this node, which, look at the bottom of the VAP zone, if they get back, to even, are they going to take their money? You kind of have to bet on it until they don't, because at this point we are making lower highs. It's just, it is what it is. Get mad at me if you think I'm bearish, but I'm bearish because the charts say to be bearish. I get it, but bullish short term maybe. EXPI, the parent company of Dan Max Realty. Check it out. No, I'm just kidding. We talked about this. I liked it at 27 at the trend line, and then so ultimately, hey, if you're buying it, your stop is the old lows. Guess what? If you're buying it, you're happy. Eric, I know, is buying it. We said get over the 20-day. Look at that. Keep going. It looks good. I guess we should try to draw a trend line. This thing was so steep. Keep in mind. So that's why at worst it's due for a bounce. I do like saying a bottom and then a higher low. Short term, let's zoom out and see where the first support resistance. Oh, it's going to be probably this area from 33 to 31. Just know that. Don't overthink it. Keep it simple. Good old PENN. Man, I knew this was going to bounce, but I just didn't know when. This is interesting because we talked about this big blowout on the news from Portnoy. And look what we've done. We said this head and shoulders failed. New low. Again, when you have a head and shoulders bottom and you go lower, you don't break out over, it goes lower. Good, went lower. Said watch the 20-day. Man, this has been sloppy, choppy. 20-day. Again, if you think trading's easy and you watch every day, you are, man, your brain is going to get fried at some point. Making, getting back out to the highs, I would think ultimately there's a VAP zone here. You need to get over the 53 area. At some point it was due to bounce. We talked about it. I mean, it's like, hey, its stock was at 140. It gets down to 37. You want to continue to short? I mean, unless they're going directly bankrupt, you are just playing with fire. I mean, it's just like holding too long. UTHR, we said buy the lows or wait for the breakout. It's getting back over the moving averages. And you know what happens when it gets back to the over the moving averages? It gets back to the range highs. And when it gets back to the range highs, it tends to fail. So what's the trade? I mean, unless it gets over 216, sell some covered calls and wait and just see what happens. I mean, this action is totally compressing. Big wedgie. And when it breaks, it's going to break up big or down big. That's the easiest time to play it. I mean, you don't have to overthink it. Let's end on XOP and X on mobile, because I mean, I've warned people. It's amazing they come again. I hate to sound like a dick, but they come into the chat room and they go, "Oh, what about oil and this and this?" It's like, hey, I talk about this stuff every day. I don't mind relaying exactly how I feel about it, but guess what? You could have seen this coming if you're watching all the videos. Said this action was not bullish. Said need to stay over the 20-day. So far, so good. Notice how close over 20-day. Hey, just watch the level. Get over 113. Good. Doesn't? Not good. That simple. ExxonMobil, we said, I've been expecting this to get a little tired. I mean, it has gone from 58 to 83 with not much weakness. This action could be portending bearishness. Now, again, how bearish? Probably not a ton, but, if you had profits to take, you could have taken a little off. I mean, wondering about this whole area. Now, again, I'd like to see the breakout. I mean, think of this as the daily chart you'd want to see the next day. Well, guess what? It's the monthly chart, and today is what, the 9th? You got a ways to go. So, here's how I would think about it. We broke out, but do not be surprised if you backtest the channel or the trend line. It's just that simple. I mean, if you see 73, pull the trigger, have a stop. At this point, this could be indecision. It could be, you could be witnessing a candle like this, candle like that. I mean, I don't think you're going to have that long of a wick, but that's the kind of stuff. So, man, I'm sorry these are long, but I'm trying to do the work for you so that you know what to expect when the markets are acting. Again, if you don't see the value in trying to know what's going to happen before it happens, then you, my friend, are gambling. And gamblers lose, I lose, we all lose when we have that mentality. So let's not lose. Let's keep this going. Thanks for watching. Talk to you.
Thanks for watching. For more trading knowledge and insight, click on the videos on the right, and also join the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you have any questions, please stop on by the Discord room and let's chat. Thank you.